Jada Pinkett Smith is the matriarchal head of one of Hollywood's most prolific families, the Smiths. Jada got her start as an actress in 1990 as she began to appear in various TV shows and movies, and her career quickly began to take off. And over the course of her 32 years in the limelight with her family, she has gone from being one of the most beloved actresses on the scene to being considered a fairly unlikable person. But when did that change begin to happen? And what was the main cause of the shift in Jada's public image? Before her rise to fame, Jada grew up in a harsh environment surrounded by drugs and violence, an environment that she originally became a part of, and she's even mentioned in interviews in the past that the first time she ever met the late Tupac was during her time as a drug dealer. According to her interview with Sway's Universe, Jada recalled the two connecting at the Baltimore School for the Arts, and since then and up until the late rapper's death, the two were as thick as thieves. In fact, they were so close that Jada's husband Will admitted to being jealous of what his wife's relationship with Tupac was like. He even went as far as saying, "In the beginning of our relationship, my mind was tortured by their connection." And following a revelation that was made in 2015, Jada has been questioned about her loyalties to her husband, though she has sworn that she and Tupac were strictly platonic. Now, her feelings for the late rapper aside, Tupac wasn't the only artist that Jada had feelings for other than Will Smith. In 2015, the world was stunned by the news of Jada having an affair with August Alsina, who at the time was only 22 years old. During an interview that he did with The Breakfast Club, Alsina broke down his relationship with Jada a bit by saying that he actually sat down and had a talk with Will about his feelings for Jada, and according to the singer, Jada's husband gave them his blessing. And while the idea of Jada and August's relationship being an honest one might seem nice, the circumstances surrounding their relationship were anything but. You see, it wasn't long before questions began being raised about Jada and August's affair, most of which surrounded the fact that August was 21 years younger than Jada, and that the pair had actually met after August had become close with Jada's son, Jaden. On top of that, August claimed that Jada mentored him, which some people felt was less mentoring and more an adult grooming a young man. Many news outlets and articles began dragging the matriarch of the Smith family through the mud for her affair with the singer, and eventually Jada took it upon herself to address the situation, which only backfired on her more. Following the news about her affair with August, Jada announced that she would be using the next episode of her internet talk show, Red Table Talk, to address the situation, and that's exactly what she did, only without owning up to the fact that she did anything wrong. In the episode, which also featured Will Smith, Jada specifically avoided using the word affair, and instead referred to her relationship with August while being married to Will as merely an entanglement. During the interview, the pair would also discuss how they ended up back on good terms with one another, after Jada had been in a relationship with the 22-year-old. But according to her, before she had a relationship with August, she was in an immense amount of mental pain, and the affair somehow helped her find peace. After the episode of the Red Table Talk aired, it was clipped by countless YouTubers and went viral immediately, with Jada's use of the word entanglement becoming a meme. And before long, fans around the world began expressing the pain that they felt for Will after watching his wife practically blame him for the fact that she slept with another man. Many refer to the fact that while watching the clip, you can visibly see the pain in Will's expression as he listens to his wife explain how he wasn't making her happy enough, so she felt forced to fool around with her son's friend. And on top of that, there wasn't a single apology in the entire conversation. All Jada practically said was, "I slept with someone else, nobody gave me permission to do so other than myself, and because of that, our relationship is stronger now." The entire situation brought a ton of eyes onto the Smith family, only this time they were looking for faults in their armor, because it looked like Hollywood's perfect family was beginning to fall apart. One of the most recent controversies that have been haunting the entire Smith family came from the 94th Academy Awards ceremony, which was hosted in March of 2022 by actor and comedian Chris Rock. It all started as Chris was riffing to the audience as most hosts do, and he began cracking jokes about Jada and the fact that she has alopecia. He looked over to Jada, who was sitting in the crowd, and said, "Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it."
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Referencing that Jada being bald resembled Demi Moore's look in the 1997 movie G.I. Jane. Now, for anyone who might not know, alopecia is a medical term for hair loss, or going bald. There are a ton of possible causes behind it, but at the end of the day, it isn't life-threatening. That being said, joking about a medical condition, whether it's severe or not, is always risky and might cause the comedian to face some backlash. In this case, though, it wasn't from the entire audience. Instead, Chris Rock faced the wrath of Jada's husband. as he slowly walked across the stage and smacked the host across the face.
Oh, wow! Wow!
And there isn't any way to condone what Will Smith did at that moment. Violence should never be the answer, and certainly not the first response to a joke. But interestingly enough, what a lot of viewers noticed, especially after footage from the audience leaked online, was Jada's reaction to the entire thing. While she watched her husband essentially throw away his career, all she did was sit back and laugh, literally. Now, it wasn't Jada's job to stop Will from acting out and making a fool of himself because she was his wife, but it was her job because they were supposed to be partners. No matter what position you're in as part of a family, you should always look out for the well-being of your loved ones, and Jada did the opposite of that, which the public has held her accountable for. Since the incident at the Oscars and her entanglement with a 22-year-old, Jada hasn't seen much positive press, and the same can be said for the rest of the Smith family as well. But what do you think? Was the public too harsh on Jada over the year? Or is the world finally seeing her for who she truly is? Make sure you let us know in the comments below.